All right, we are live.
All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the virtual conference of the Publish Nation Day 2. Welcome from wherever you are joining us from. So, if you're here with us, you should say hi in the comments so I give you a shout out. Tell us you are here by indicating in the comments and I'll give you a shout out. Welcome to our virtual conference day 2. We welcome you guys. Welcome, 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 welcome. So indicate in the comment section and I'm going to give you a shout out. So welcome guys, welcome guys, welcome guys. This is Chidima here, moderating from Enugu State. So where are you watching us from? Indicate in the comments and I'm going to give you a big shout out. So welcome guys, welcome Oluwabori, welcome. I can see some people in
Thank
the
you very much.
comments. Welcome guys, welcome, 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 welcome guys, welcome. Say hi in the comments and I'm going to give you a shout out. Welcome to our day 2 of our conference. Welcome, welcome guys. Welcome for joining us. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Indicate in the comments and I'm going to give you a shout out. Welcome guys. Welcome guys. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to the Publish Nation Virtual Conference. This is day 2. Yesterday was a blast. We did something here. You had to be there. We people gained knowledge, gained real-time value, and it was really exciting. I was happy to be there. So I hope you get something today. So welcome. If you're here, indicate in the comments and I'm going to give you a shout out. Welcome guys, welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome guys. Introduce yourself in the comments and I'm going to give you a shout out. Welcome, 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 welcome. Where are you watching this from? Where are you watching from? Outside the country, in Nigeria, in Africa? From where are you watching from? Tell us in the comments and we're going to give you a shout out. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Publish Nation Virtual Conference. We welcome you specially. Welcome to our event. Welcome. I hope you're with your jotting pen and your paper so you can write enough. You can learn something that is going to make your life better for the next years of your life. You're going to really enjoy it and gain real knowledge, real time knowledge and value. Yesterday was a blast. Today is going to be more better, like more engaging. So welcome guys. Indicate in the comments where you're watching from, your state and all. And I'm going to give you a shout out. Welcome guys, welcome guys. Welcome to our host, Miss Oluwabori. I can see you. I can see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Indicate in the comments where you're chatting from.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you for wanting to be a part of today's event. Today happens to be day 2. Day 1 was so wonderful. If you missed it, the replay is still on the channel, so you can want to go ahead and watch the replay. Welcome. You can indicate in the comment section where you are joining us from, and the moderator will give you a big shout out. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. All right, without further ado, while we still wait for some more people to join us, we won't take much of our time tonight, so we'll just go ahead and commence the conference tonight. Do well to also share the link to this particular live broadcast with your friends, your community members, so that they can also
We
get
love
to
the ones
learn
too.
all that exactly, so that they can get to learn all that we have to share here tonight. This is a free conference. It's completely free, including the information that have been shared here as well. And also, this conference gives you the privilege to also ask your questions, and you would also get free answers as well. And who knows, you might also get free consultation section with any of our speakers here tonight. All right, over to you, Chidima.
Okay, guys, while you're saying those in the comment section, I'll go ahead. So I'll tell you what Publish Nation is about, what this event is about, what we stand for, and what you stand to gain. Publish Nation Virtual Conference, which is this conference, is a comprehensive and interactive event designed to empower authors like you and book service professionals to navigate the complex, ever evolving publishing landscape. This event promises to be a transformative experience, like you saw yesterday, offering a unique blend of expert insights, practical guidance, and networking opportunities to help attendees achieve their publishing goals. The Publish Nation Virtual Conference aims to, I'll list them. One, provide attendees with a deep understanding of the publishing industry, including the latest trends, best practices, and innovations. Two, motivate and inspire authors and book service professionals to reach their full potential, overcome challenges, and stay focused on their goals. Three, facilitate meaningful connections between attendees, industry experts, and potential partners, fostering a supportive community that extends beyond the event. Four, equip attendees with the skills, knowledge that is necessary. By attending the Publish Nation virtual conference, attendees can expect to gain a deeper understanding of the publishing industry and its various aspects, develop a clear plan to achieve their publishing goals, including writing, editing, publishing, marketing, and sales strategies, connect with industry professionals, potential partners, and like minded authors and book service providers. Live with a renewed sense of purpose and motivation to succeed in the publishing world. Guys, that is a whole lot. You stand to gain a whole lot by just being in this event. I, for one, will say you are very lucky for being here. Being here at this time is a lucky journey for you. So, welcome to this event, and we open this event in the name of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So, guys, we are going to move ahead. Like we said, we are not waiting for any other things today. We are going to go straight so we can finish early. I'll welcome the host to give a welcome address in the person of Miss Oluwabori Shoyele. So let's listen to what she has to tell us. Please take the floor, Miss Bori.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you so very much for joining us this evening. It's my great pleasure to have you here join us again. Thank you for being present here yesterday. For as many people that watched us live here yesterday, they can testify to what happened yesterday, how much insight we gained as regards book publishing as a whole. We had a ghostwriter come speak with us yesterday. We had an editor, a professional editor, a professional book editor. She was here to, Ms. Dokas was here to take us through the whole process about editing, both for an author and then for those that are also aspiring to become a professional book editor. We also had Mr. Adekunle speak to us on book marketing. How can we utilize social media to market our book? It was such an insightful segment yesterday. So if you missed yesterday's session, do well to check up the previous video to that session yesterday here on our YouTube channel, and also ensure that you subscribe. As make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. After this virtual event, there are other wonderful content that we're going to be dropping. Of course, we have some already, but we will be dropping new and wonderful content as a gas book publishing solely on this channel. So you can want to just take your time to subscribe to our channel so that you can get notifications when we drop new content. And so if you missed yesterday's episode, that's the conference for day one yesterday, do well to check for the replay as well. The replay is going to be available for a limited period of time, so you don't want to miss the opportunity. So do well to go ahead and watch the replay. While you're doing that, ensure you have a notepad with you and a pen to jot down salient points. And of course, the contact of the speakers will also be included in the description of the video so that you can get to reach out to them personally and discuss with them whatever it is that you have to discuss with them concerning your book project. Once again, I humbly welcome every one of us to tonight's event. It promises to be a very awesome one tonight. We have three lineup speakers, including myself. I have some other persons that will be talking to us on Amazon KDP publishing as well as book formatting. So do well to ask your questions as well. It's very important. I always advocate for questions. It's very good that you ask your questions after teachings have been done. Okay, just to clarify areas that you did not get because of the teaching, or questions that you have earlier before attending the teaching or the event. So do well to drop your questions for us in the chat box, and the moderator will do well to read out your questions, and the speakers will do well to attend to every of your questions. Thank you so very much for joining us again tonight. Over to you, Chidima.
Okay, thank you so much, Bori, for that beautiful welcome. Please, if you don't mind, you can increase the volume of your mic from the other end. It's really not easy hearing it from this side. Thank you. Okay, we are going to move ahead now. We'll be going on a very short break to welcome more people. Please stay with us and stay tuned. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, we're back. Thank you for that short break for staying with us. Okay, we'll be inviting our first guest speaker today so you can hear from them, and hope you have your notes ready. Well, before we invite them, you should copy the link and share to various groups in your WhatsApp. Share to your family members, your loved ones, because like I said, this is going to be a life-changing experience for each and every one of you that attends. So it is very paramount to send it to those you love if you want their lives to change for the good, to change for the better. Especially those that love writing and love publishing. They want to write a book. They need this event. So copy the link and share to your various WhatsApp platforms and to your loved ones on Facebook and everywhere so they can join us. Okay, I'll be inviting our first speaker for today to take the floor. So, studio, please, can you help us with that so I can go ahead? Okay, our first speaker for today is our host, Miss Oluwabori Shoyele. She's the founder and lead consultant at Popcode Publishing, a book publishing outfit set up to offer diverse range of book publishing services. She's a publisher par excellence and have handled several book publications in print and online. She has worked with over 70 authors and offered excellent book consultant services for clients with books across all genres. She's a published author of 7 books, including her best-selling book, Becoming an Author. So, with a loud clap offering from wherever you are, let's welcome Miss Oluwabori Shele. She was with us here yesterday and she spoke to us, and it was enlightening, and we hope today is going to be better. So, Miss Shele, you can take the floor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chidima. Welcome, everybody. Good evening to you from wherever you are watching this live broadcast from. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Oluwabori, and tonight I am going to be sharing with us on a very vital stage of book publishing. I was here yesterday as well, so you can like to just watch my section to hear yesterday for the day one of this great event. So I'm going to be sharing my slides right now. Let me know if you can see my slides. Can you see my slide now?
Yes, we can see your slides clearly.
Oh, thank you very much. So I'm going to be discussing with us tonight on the topic from concept to cover, essential skills for essential skills and strategies for success. From concept to cover, essential skills and strategies for success. All right, so without further ado, I'm just going to dive straight into it. So, have you met before? Have you met? Do you know me? Do I know you? All right, so my name is Oluwabori and I design book covers for a living. I am the lead consultant and founder at Popcode Publishing. I have trained over 800 individuals on the art of book cover design, and I have designed over 200 book covers across all genres and still counting. And I basically love to teach, just like I'm doing here right now tonight. Okay, so now looking at our screen, you can see that there is something showing right on your screen. You have something showing right on your screen. So take a look at those two pictures, picture A and picture B. Take a look at these two pictures here, picture A and picture B. Now, in your mind, as you are looking at your screen and you are taking a look at these pictures, what can you say about the picture? What are your comments about picture A? And what can you say about picture B? I want you to take note of that in your mind. What can you say of picture A and what can you say of picture B? Of course, the two pictures here are two different cover designs. You have cover design A with its own title, and you have cover design B with its own title. All right, I believe you have done that. You have taken note of the difference between the two and your observation of the two cover designs. All right, so now who should listen to me tonight? Who should listen to me? One, anyone who has a book to publish. So if you are here, you have a book to publish, then you should listen to me. Or you want to be a book service provider specifically to me as well. Also, if you are a book publisher, you should listen to me as well. Also, if you are a book publisher, you should listen to me as well, or you're aspiring to become one. This set of people, it's important that you listen to me tonight because I have a lot of information to share with us tonight. All right, so now first I like to clarify two things really, and that's because over the years of me designing book covers, I realized that when clients come to me for their book cover design, they usually do not know the right terminology to use. And it is very important that even as an author, you get acquainted with some of these terminologies or terms that are being used in the book publishing industry. So most times I hear people say, "Oh, I want a book cover." Okay, or they'll be like, "Hello, please, I need a book cover." They'll be like, "Oluwabori, can you design a book? Can you get me a book cover?" And they say, "I want a book cover for my book." So many different kind of expressions that are, on a normal English, like normal everyday English, is correct, but coming to the book publishing space, it's like you saying a different thing entirely. So, what is the difference between a book cover and a book cover design? Now, a book cover is the outer covering that binds and protects the inner pages of your book. I'll take that again. A book cover is the outer covering that binds and protects the inner pages of a book. I'm sure, just look around you right now, you can see a book, okay? Any type of book at all, be it exercise book or souvenirs, like, I mean, your jotters, or even a normal book, like a normal textbook or a self-help book, right? You can find some of them around you. So that colorful part of it that is showing on the outside, that's the book cover. Now, when we now talk about a book cover design, on the other hand, a book cover design is the graphical representation of a book's message using lines, images, shapes, colors, and text. I'll take that again. A book cover design is the graphical representation of a book's message using lines, images, shapes, colors, and text. All right. So when next you want to meet with your book cover designer, do not ask them for a book cover. Instead, you ask them for a book cover design. That's the right word to use. That's the correct thing to use. Ask them for a book cover and not a book cover. Ask them for a book cover design rather, and not a book cover, because your book cover designer is not going to give you a book cover. You are going to get a book cover when you eventually print your book in hard copy or hardcover format. But then the basic thing you're asking them for, or you should ask them for, is a book cover design. It is actually the design that you want from a book cover designer. So that clarifies the difference between a book cover and a book cover design. So when next again you're meeting with your book cover designer, make sure to ask them for a book cover design and not a book cover. I believe that's well taken. All right, so let's move on. Why is a book cover design important? Why is it important for you as an author to get a book cover design for your book? Or simply put, why do books need a cover design? Number one, a book cover design helps to sell your book. That's like one of the first thing. First thing first, it helps to sell your book. All right. Now, if anyone is going to sell at all, whether you're selling online or you are selling offline, you need a medium or a way or something to be able to sell your product or even your services. There should be something that would show others what you're selling or what you have to offer. So that's also the same purpose that a cover design is going to serve when it comes to marketing or promoting your book. So a book cover sells your book. So now you want to tell your friend that you're meeting after, like, let's say 2 or 3 years. Oh, an old time friend. Now you're trying to, explain what you've been up to for the past 2 or 3 years, and you're like, oh, I just recently published a book. The person's like, wow, like, yeah, what's the title of the book? Then you go ahead and tell the person the title of the book. You just don't stop there. Because you have a cover design, it serves as a proof, right? So you want to show them probably the mock-up of the cover design on your phone to say, oh, see the book, see the flyer, see the mock-up, see this, see that. The person's like, wow, this is beautiful. I love this. Or how can I get a copy? Imagine if you can only, all you can only say is, imagine if all you can only say is, oh, I've published a book, or I'm currently working on a book, or my book is currently on pre-order, and there's no proof to it at all. Definitely you might not be able to successfully convince your friend to buy. Okay, so a book cover design helps to sell your book. Now, the second um, reason is that it helps to differentiate your book from other books with the same topic as yours. So if you look at it now, let's say for example, relationship. There are so many books on relationship written by different authors across the world, like not even in millions. Yes, you have books in millions on relationship. If you want to prove this, you can check Amazon alone. Go on other online book publishing platforms, and you would get to see there are diverse books on relationship. Relationship is a niche, and it is also a topic, right? But so many people have written they've written on their own perspective on that particular topic. And so, in order to differentiate your book from every of those other books, you need to do a design, a cover design for your book that would show your book title and your name as the author or the owner of the book. Now, reason number three, it helps to elevate your book's content and message. Now, imagine if books are just being written, being printed and published without cover designs. Like the cover, though the book will have a cover, but there's nothing on it. It's just plain color. Let's say plain white, plain red, plain blue. Nothing, no information on it at all. No picture, no text, no image, nothing. Imagine I'm sure we are actually thinking of the same thing, because it will not appeal to anybody. It will not even make sense to anybody. In fact, if anyone gets to see it on the table, they assume it's just like every other book. But once you have a cover design, a book that has a cover, and on it there is a design that has colors, image, and text on it already, it has a way of attracting whoever that sees it. So it is your book cover design helps to elevate your book's content. That is why when in the design of a cover, it's done in such a way that it incorporates the message that the author is trying to pass, even in its design. Then the last point here is that it helps to promote your book. So, like I mentioned earlier in point 3, imagine if books have covers that are just plain color, no text, no image, no color, nothing. Everybody will just assume that it's just one kind of book. But by the time it has a design on the cover with text, images, and colors, it's so beautiful and attractive, right? And that's where it can begin to promote the book once anybody gets to see it and they pick it up, they are able to open it or read more about it so that they begin to show their interest to want to buy that book. So basically, your book cover design helps to promote your book. For instance, now, if you have written an ebook, the best way to promote it is to make use of mock-ups, right? Which are three-dimensional forms of your cover design. Okay, that's like a picture of how it will look like in real life if it were to be a real book. Okay, that's what a mock-up is. So that's the importance of book cover designs. It helps to promote your book. All right, having learned that, let's talk about the types of book cover designs. I'm sure on your screen now you can see beautiful, wonderful colors, everything popping out, and each of them is actually calling for your attention, right? Very good. Now we have basically three types of cover design, although there is a fourth one, and that's for audiobook, right? Because books can be in about four or more formats. Okay, so we have ebook cover design, we have paperback cover design, and hardcover cover design. Now, the first one here is the ebook cover design, and there I had a picture of what an ebook cover design look like. If you look at that ebook cover design, all that is being shown here is just a front cover design. That's all that is being shown there. Now, if you look at the paperback cover design, it's a bit different from the ebook cover design. Now, when I say different, I mean in terms of the size, it's a bit bigger and wider than the ebook cover design. Why is it bigger or why is it wider? That's because it has not only the front cover, it has the back cover and it has a spine. And now, I don't know if you can see this, but I wish you can. If you check the middle of this book, the paperback itself, if you check the middle, there is a very tiny text at the middle of this particular design here. There's a text, a long text, very small written there. Okay, so that's where the spine is. That's where the spine of the book actually is. So this paperback has the front cover, it has the back cover, and then it has the spine. So it's like a complete one entirely. Now, the paperback cover design is basically needed if you decide or want to print your book in hard copy. That means you want physical copies of your book. Then you have to get a paperback cover design. Now, the ebook cover design, just like the name implies, is solely used for ebook publication. So if you intend to only publish your book as an ebook, then you go for an ebook cover design. Then if you have the mind of printing it, you can then add a paperback cover design because you cannot use an ebook cover you cannot use an ebook cover design for your paperback. It's not possible. So if you plan to print your book, the one you are going to take with along with you to the printer's place or the publisher's place is the paperback cover design and not the ebook cover design. Then the third one is the hard cover design. Now, the paperback and hardcover are the same thing, okay? The only difference is just the texture or the quality of material that is being used for the cover. Now, for a paperback cover design, it's just the very common covers that we see on books around us. Like most majority of books have this paperback cover design. Like the cover is it's that flexible cover that we usually see on books. While the hard cover differs in texture, it's still the same concept, but it differs in texture. It's more harder than the paperback. Okay, if there are some Bibles, like some versions of Bibles, especially some old models Bibles like that have this hardcover. And then if you also use all these 12 in one, 5 in one, 8 in one kind of school notebooks, you would also see that the cover is hard. There are also some souvenirs, jotters that also have this hard cover feeling. So that's what an hard cover is. So there's a kind of design for hardcover books as well. Like you can see here in the picture, that's the third picture by the right. There is a flap. You can see a flap on the inside, and that flap contains some text. Okay, so that's the way the design of an ad cover is usually done. But amongst the three, the first two are usually common. You hardly see hardcover books around because it's also expensive as well, though it is durable. All right, so moving away from that, let's talk about the parts of a book cover design. Parts of a book cover design. To explain this, I've decided to use a paperback cover design to explain this. So if you look at this paperback cover design, like I said, it's wider and it's full. Okay, so by your right hand side, I hope I'm right, you have the front cover, and then the back cover is on the left hand side. Okay, now on the front cover, you have three basic information. On the front cover, you have three basic information. Number one, the book title. Number two, the subtitle. Number three, the author's name. Now, the book title is Behind Closed Door. The subtitle here is A Step-by-Step Guide to Conquering Sexual Addictions and Working in Freedom. That's the subtitle. And then the author's name is Joshua T. Oluwakolumi. Now, those are the three basic information that you need to submit to your book cover designer, okay, for your ebook cover design and by extension your paperback or hardcover cover design. Now, if you are now designing a fiction book, most fiction books do not need a subtitle. So all you need is just your title and the author's name. Okay. Although you can add additional information. For instance, if additional information is like the forward. So if the forward to the book is written by a notable person, you can want to put the name of that person on the cover just to help influence the sales of that book. So let's say for instance now, this book is being forwarded um by Okonjo-Iweala, for example now. You know, she's a notable person, the president of the World Trade Organization. Now, if you put her name, because she's a notable person, you can want to put her name on the cover as the person that wrote the foreword to this book. Okay, and that way it will also help influence the sale of this book because when people see the name, they're like, wow, this person is influential and stuff like that. So also on the other side, we have the back cover design. On the back cover design, you have this vital information as well. The about the book and the about the author. About the book and about the author. It's not compulsory that you have the author's picture, okay? But you can want to put it because that way it helps to build trust. So people can relate when they see the face of the author. Then also on the back cover, you can have the ISBN barcode. That's the one showing at the lower bottom part. That's the ISBN barcode because your paperbacks are meant to have ISBN. So you should have the ISBN barcode right on the cover. Although, depending on the platform where you are publishing to, if you are publishing to Amazon now, you do not need to put this ISBN barcode because Amazon will put it by themselves. So now if you check the middle here, the middle of the book, you would find out that there is, please let me know if you can hear me, if I'm audible. There a big distraction in my background.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, thank you. So if you check the middle of this book, like I said earlier, there is a long text written at the middle of this design itself, and that is where the spine of the book is. Okay, so there are usually text written on the spine, and the three basic information that you usually have on the spine is the book title, the author's name, and the logo of the publishing company. I'll take that again. The book title, the author's name, and the logo of the publishing company. Although that third option, that's the logo of the publishing company, is optional, it's not compulsory. All right, so that's just about that. But not all books actually have text on their spine, depending on the size. If the book is too small, definitely it will not need to have, it will have a spine, but it will not have text on it because the text will be too small to see. Now, what are the information needed to design a book cover? I've mentioned them earlier. Book title, subtitle, name of the author or authors if there are more than one, the about the book, the about the author or authors if there are more than one. Now, if you look at the second point, book subtitle, I said optional. That is because we have fiction and non-fiction book. If it is a fiction book, a subtitle is not compulsory. Most fiction books do not have subtitle. Okay, but for your fiction book, it is very important that you get a subtitle. And if you are a cover designer too, or you're aspiring to be one, please ensure that when your client comes to you for book cover design and the book happens to be a non-fiction book, please ask them for the subtitle. Or they will say, oh, does he need one? Like, do I need to put subtitle? Tell them yes. Let them look for a subtitle, one that would add more clarity to the book title itself. Okay. The next point, do's and don'ts. What are the do's and don'ts? What are the things that you must not do? What are the things that you must do when it comes to your book cover design? Number one, you have to ensure that the author's name is short and simple. This is very important. Now, if you look at the screen, you will see that I have about 5 different cover designs from authors whose books are very popular. These are popular authors: Dan Brown, Stephen Covey, John Gray, Paulo, Robert Kiyosaki. These are very popular authors whose books have been bought by millions of people. So they are not new. Now, this serves as an example or standard for us to follow. But it's surprising that in Nigeria, my fellow brothers and sisters that have plenty names, they love to put all of their names on the cover. And the thing you have to understand is that it's not about your name really, you know. So try as much as possible to keep it short and simple. So I gave some formats here. There are two. You can have the first name, that's your first name, your middle name, initial, and then your last name or surname. First name plus middle name, initial, and your last name. So an example of that is for Stephen R. Covey. That's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You can see he has his first name Stephen, his middle name initial R, then his surname Covey. So that's an example. Or the simplest one, just your first name and your last name, like we have for the Da Vinci Code. That's Dan Brown. Okay. So now there are exceptions. That's the one we can see for beside his name. That's his title. It's allowed. So if your own is MD, maybe managing director or something, you can also put John Gray, then comma MD, for instance. So that's that. Then another thing is that ensure that the author's name is legible enough. Ensure that your author's name is legible. I used to see this quite a lot, especially on Facebook, where somebody would release their book or show us their cover design, and I would be looking for where the author's name is. In fact, if it were possible for some designers or for some authors, they would not even put their name at all. An example is what I've shown you in this picture. You can see the picture by the right hand side. The name is very tiny, you understand? But look at the other picture by the side. The name is legible enough, at least it matches that of the title. So that is the order or the way in which it is meant to be. So here on the screen, I have the hierarchy of font size. So I said the hierarchy of font size should be in this order. The book title, just like it is showing here, bold, then followed by the author's name. So the author's name comes second. You can see that the author's name here in the correct cover design is bigger in size than the subtitle. So that's the order in which it is meant to be. All right, so the next point. Now, avoid blurry pictures or images with low resolution. This is very important. In the choice of your images, make sure you are using an image that is clear, very, very clear. I have an example shown on the screen right here. You can see they are the same picture, but one is clearer than the other. So here I listed out sites that you can go to online on Google to get pictures, clear pictures, and pictures that are also free to use. So you have iStock Photo, Tilt Snap. On Tilt Snap, you have pictures that are free for commercial usage. So you won't be scared that what if I use it and they now charge me for copyright? No. You have Talk Cake, Unsplash, Bust, Pexels, and Pixabay. There are a lot of them actually. Another point is this: avoid fancy and curly fonts except if the genre requires such. You can see the two examples of covers here. The first one has a lot of curly fonts that are very distracting, and it will take someone like 2 or 3 minutes to be able to discern the correct title of the book. But see the other one, though it has curly font, but it is minimal, and one can easily pick the name or the title of the book. So avoid fancy and curly font except if the genre requires such. Okay, for example, in fantasy books, romance book, chick lit, and so on. Then avoid too many font types. Like in this book now, the first one, the wrong one. I'm sorry, there's a mistake in this picture. The one by the right is the correct one, and then the one on the left is the wrong one. So just take note. So for the one on the left, that's the wrong one. It has too many font types. You can see different designs. All of them are curly and they are too fanciful. So avoid such so that people can be able to read the text of your book title. Then avoid busy and overcrowded book cover design. Now, if you look at the cover design on the right hand side, it's too busy. That's the case of the man overboard. Too busy. So many pictures going on in the background, too many text on the cover. A lot is just going on. So busy. So if you check the other
Hello,
one here
please.
on,
Miss Bori,
can we?
your
Yes.
voice is not loud enough. I can barely hear you.
Okay. All right. All right, thank you for that. So here I'm saying that you should avoid busy and overcrowded book cover design. Can you hear me now?
Yes, better.
All right, thank you. So here I'm saying you should avoid busy and overcrowded book cover design. Now, if you check the cover design on the right hand side, you can see it's busy. It's quite busy. You have the name of the authors too big. In fact, the author's name is bigger than the book title itself, which should not be. Okay. Then you have so many colors and pictures at the background, so distracting. But if you look at the other one here, the unblock, you can see it's easy. You can pick each of the text, because it's easy, everything is nice, well arranged. So that's the way it should be. You should limit the use of text and elements in your design. Then the next one, avoid asking too many people for feedback about your book cover. I see this a lot. Now, there is totally no crime with you sharing your book cover online. In fact, it is good because the number one motive why you are doing that is to notify people that you are working on a book. It's not like you really need their advice or their feedback, but just want to let them know that I'm writing a book. Okay, you want to put it in their subconscious so that they begin to remember the cover, like, this is what this person's book cover looks like. You understand? But although though sometimes we would post it and then ask them to help us choose, okay, either between A or B. But you have to realize that you don't have to take all of the feedback. You don't have to take it in like that and say, oh, everybody's going with A, let me go with A. That's why most times when we put such requests out on social media, we would always ask them for the reason why they are choosing, they are making their choice. But some of them will just choose without giving a reason. And that just to tell you that maybe sentiments you would say, because they can't really say, oh, this is the reason why I feel I like this cover. They just say, oh, hey, some people say because it's beautiful, but both of them are beautiful. Why did you say this one is beautiful? What makes this particular cover beautiful? They cannot explain. And that's because they do not have book cover design education and skills. Like they are not skilled in that area. They are not knowledgeable about that. So you cannot take their advice like that. But then do what to ask people, say your fellow author, someone that has written a book before or has written 2 or 3 books before. You can want to ask them, please let me check this my cover. Do you think it's okay? Of course, by then they already have an experience. Or you are asking your designer friends around you to give you advice. When it comes to social media, opinions and feedback, please do not carry it on you to say, oh, they already said they like A. I'm going to go with A because they said they like A. Because it's not everybody that would send you feedback or people that will comment on your post that will end up buying that book. That's it, especially here in Nigeria. We like commenting, right? We like sharing our opinions unsolicited anyway. So avoid subjecting your cover design to your personal opinion, irrespective of what applies to such book genre. Now, personal opinions, there are some clients that I've worked with and they'll be like, you know what, this my book cover design, put my picture there and make sure that the color of the cover is pink. And as a designer, I'm looking at it that this cover design, the title, the information does not have anything to do with color pink. But because that's the best color of the clients, they feel that every of their theme must be pink, including their book. And you need to know that as an author, though the book is written by you, your book is not for you. It's for your audience. It's for the people that you have in mind that made you write that book. You understand? So avoid, avoid enforcing your personal opinion to say you must use pink. Why? Because pink is my best color. You must use my picture. Why? Because I want my face to be there. Whereas the title of the book doesn't even have anything to do with your picture at all. So you have to be very careful of that. Then, what are the common cover design errors and mistakes that you should avoid? Hmm. This happens a lot, especially with paperback cover design. Most people would design paperbacks, and this is why I'm going to say this. Okay, I am a book cover designer, but then even though some people want to refer to me as a graphic designer, I do not like to bear that title, because when it comes to graphic design, there are different niches under graphic design. So some people can choose to focus on logo designs only. Some people can choose to focus on church design, church flyers only, like they solely design church flyers, and they'll be very good at it. Some people can be on conference flyers. That's what they design: conferences, webinars, trainings. That's what they do, and they do it well. Some people's own, their own can be on posters, all these big billboard banners. That's what they do. You understand? Some people's own, it can be okay, I've mentioned logo, right? But for me personally, my own graphic design is based on book cover design. That's what I do. Not that I do not do flyers, but I don't do flyers as a major thing, like my major area of specialization. No, I do it just by the side. But my main thing is book cover design. So you need to understand that it's not all graphic designers that are good at designing book covers, especially paperback. And the areas where that problem used to happen is that when they design paperbacks for you, they'll just design without specification, without following the normal size. And if you upload it to Amazon, Amazon will send you so many error mistakes. They will reject your cover and your book. Okay, and if you end up printing such books too, you will realize that that book is either the cover is too small or it is too big. Okay, so what are the common mistakes? Number one, the cover images. The cover image includes a barcode that is not generated by KDP or is not placed in the correct position. When I was explaining the part of a book, I'm going back there, you can see where I have placed the barcode here, the ISBN barcode. That's because I am printing here in Nigeria. But if you're uploading to Amazon, don't put it at all, because Amazon will fix it by themselves. They have a place where they fix it, and it has a size. So don't put it there. Just leave that space vacant and make sure that there's enough space after the about the author, so that when you want to paste their ISBN by themselves, I mean Amazon, they can have enough space to do that. So that's about that. Then the next mistake to avoid is that the cover image does not extend beyond the trim line or does not fit within the safe zone. Now, Amazon will always send this error message to the publishers. They're telling them that, sorry, that means the cover is not fitting properly into the book, so it's too short. So you need to make sure that you extend it correctly. Then another error you can get that you should avoid is that the cover image has layers or transparencies that are not flattened. So when you send your book like that to Amazon, they will scrutinize it, they will check, they'll make sure everything is intact. If it is not intact, they will send you a message, okay, notifying you of what the problem is and what they expect you to do. Now, another thing again, aside from that, okay, so I think that's all about that. Those are just the common mistakes that you should avoid when it comes to cover design, and that's basically when you get to upload your paperback on Amazon. With ebooks, it's very easy with ebooks, so long your ebook cover design is within 1600 by 2500 pixels. Okay, all right. So now, if you want to become a book cover designer just like me, what are the things that you must do? First, you must be a creative person. If you are not a creative person, you don't like colors, you don't like drawing, you don't like designing, you don't like putting colors together and shapes, it's not for you. Okay. Number two, you must be willing to commit yourself to practice. You have to practice, practice, practice. Make sure that when you see covers that interest you, covers that you love, like, oh, this cover is nice. Try and practice. Use that cover design as a practice. Practice and replicate that design. By the time you do it over and over again, you become a professional at it. Number three, you must be willing to pay to learn from industry experts. Although in this field, there are few people that offer courses on this particular cover design stuff. There are very few, but at least you should be able to see one. And of course, I also offer training on ebook cover design and I have a course on it too. But you have to be willing to pay to learn more because new technologies are coming up every day. Then number four, you have to build your portfolio with samples of cover design done by you. So once you make your intention known that you now design book covers, you have to have samples so that when anybody comes to meet you, maybe an author, what they'll be asking you first is your sample. You want to see what you have done before. So those samples you should be able to show them and say, see the one I've done, see this, see that. And for portfolios, you can use your WhatsApp catalog as your portfolio. All right, so what are the apps and sites to design book cover? Now, Oluwaburi, I want to start designing book covers. Where do I go to? You can use CorelDRAW, you can use Canva. Canva is very popular, and please do not undermine what Canva can do. Yes, Pixel Labs is another app. Microsoft Word is very funny, right? But it's very true. You can use Microsoft Word to design a simple cover, including Microsoft Publisher as well. We also have Poster My Wall and Adobe InDesign. There are a lot of them actually, but these are the very common and basic ones. Now, and so that's the end of all I have to share with you tonight. Thank you so much for listening. So I would love to have your questions. I would love to have your questions. Do you have any question for me?
Thank you, Oluwabori. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
If you want to speak well to your audience, your design has to be great. I think I picked that. Then you should your design is what speaks to your audience, what makes them buy actually. Because if you don't have a good design, it might not and so some offer for us courses, ebook services, new offers. So you can visit seller.co Oluwabori for co forward slash n forward slash Oluwabori trailer to get some of the courses and ebooks. Do you have questions for Mrs. Bori so we can present to her? Questions. Okay, we have a question, Miss Bori. I don't have money for a professional book cover. Can I change it later?
Okay, so if you don't have money now for a professional book cover design for your book, yes, I think it's best that you just try and get a professional book cover once and for all. The reason is because once you launch your book, like everybody already sees it. Like majority of people are aware of it, you understand? So if you now later change it because now you have the money to pay a cover designer, of course the person will not be using the same design. The person is going to tweak, change entirely what you have done because of course what you have done is just an amateur job. Person will do a professional job, different color, different background, different image. So definitely it is going to be different from what you had before. So it's like you are now have to start going back to tell everybody that come and see, oh, now I have a new book cover design. Really, it's not really very a good or ideal for you to do. So best is just that you look for a book cover designer that is within your budget. Okay. I remember when I started designing back in 2020, I started designing book covers for 3,000 naira. Yes, I designed book covers for 3,000 naira. Aside from the free versions I did, in fact, I offered free services as well too. But then I started with 3,000. But today now I don't charge book covers of 3,000 naira anymore. Okay, so my book cover design starts from 7,500 upward. Okay, but then there are still upcoming book cover designers that charge as low as that 3,000 naira even now. So all you just need to do is that you try and locate them and you'll be able to get one for as low as 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, at least for an ebook cover design. So that's that.
Okay, thank you so much for that. We have another question. When can one use ISO picture on a book cover design?
Okay, so on the issue of picture, I've explained that in the course of my teaching Pictures are not mandatory, you understand, and it depends on what you are writing on. There are some books that do not require your picture, especially if the story does not center around you, there's no need putting your picture. But if the story centers around you, you can put your, like, the story or the content of the book is about you can put your picture on it. Although some people actually do that, especially for non-fiction books, they put their picture there consciously, because they are trying to create, they want people to remember them, they want people to see their, like, they want you to be a trademark for all their books. So I know of a particular book project consultant that all of her books, about six of them, even those ones in hard copy, she always has her picture on it. And there is something behind. She's not just putting the picture there, but because she wants to make it a trademark, like every of her books will always have her picture, so that people can get to know that face after, they get used to seeing that face over a long period of time. So if that's not really your goal, then you should not put your picture there. And if the book is not about you, don't put your picture there. You can't be talking about, if your book is on politics now, you cannot put your picture there if you're not a politician. You understand? You're not a politician, you've never occupied any political seat before, but maybe you could possibly be a journalist, but still, it doesn't mean that you now can put your picture there. You understand? If you're talking about politics in Nigeria, you're now putting your picture there. Like, it doesn't really correlate like that.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bolu. Thank you for that wonderful insight. So we're going to go ahead. Okay, she has another limited
Sorry,
offer.
sorry. I have one more thing to say. So, here is my offer for anybody that wants to learn how to design ebook covers. I have an ebook cover design blueprint course for 2,000 naira. So you can just send a WhatsApp message to me so that you can be onboarded to the group. It has short video courses and a support group as well to help you learn. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll be inviting our next guest speaker to stage to come and talk to us on her what she has for us. So please, studio, can you give me what I need? Okay, we have our next speaker now. His name is Ajilara. He's a Christian evangelist and enthusiastic teacher of the world. He's a highly skilled script writer and drama minister whose ministry has positively impacted the lives of many. He's also a standout book formatter, an invaluable skill that adds a unique and professional touch to the literary world. Paul O. Ajilara is an iconic diplomatic and innovative leader who has successfully taken on strategic leadership roles with unwavering dedication, leaving a lasting impact on the lives of people. He's deeply passionate about empowering youth and bringing about transformative change through prayer, teaching, writing, and acting. Paul O. Adilara holds a Bachelor of Science in Education degree in economics from Tai Solar University of Education. He's an alumnus of Co-Writing Academy, Co-Labor Films Academy, and Pro Dram School of Ministry. He's the founder of Supremacy Model Schools, a school that focuses on excellence, integrity, and creativity. He's also the CEO of Page Crafters Academy, a virtual academy where he offers professional book formatting services and training. He is the president of Dignified Generation Outreach, an online ministry which centers on responsible parenting and financial management. He is also the president of Light Ambassadors Drama Ministry. His life is inspired by great men of God such as Bishop David Oyedepo, Pastor Benny Hinn, Pastor E.A. Adeboye, late Apostle Babalola, and many others. In addition to his accomplishments, he is the author of the Youth Capsules. Okay, Mr. Paul Ajilara, welcome to the stage, and please, you have 20 minutes. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Uh, it's nice to be here tonight, and I celebrate our convener. I say kudos to you, Ma, for organizing a virtual program like this. And I actually followed your teachings from the beginning to the end. And I think I've learned a lot in your teachings. You're a great teacher. God bless you, Ma. All right, without wasting our time, let us get started. Tonight, I'll be speaking on the topic, the heart of book formatting, with the subtitle, How to Create a Professionally Looking Book. All right, we have about 5 stages of book in book publication. You have the writing stage, where you put your ideas into writing. You have the editing stage, you have editing and proofreading, and you have formatting stage. You have the cover design stage, and we have the publishing stage. So our convener has actually dealt with cover design. So one of the very important things is book formatting. So what is book formatting itself? So from here we have book formatting refers to the layout and structure of a book content, ensuring it meets publishing standards. So when we're talking about book formatting, the summary is that we're talking about the interior design of, of a book. We're talking about the elements like font, the font type, the font size, the line spacing, the margin, the paper size, and the likes. So all these things are what we consider in book formatting. At times there is this common adage that you don't judge a book by its cover. Yes, it's true. At times you don't judge a book by the cover, but when a cover is very attractive and you pick the book, you open it, what will make you to continue reading the book is the kind of formatting of the book. I've seen some books, hard copy books, you know, the font type and font size is too tiny for the eye. In fact, at a grab like this, I was discouraged to read the book. If not because the book was a recommended text for a particular exam, I don't want to mention the exam, I don't want to mention the book because the book is still in market. So it's not because the book was recommended. I wouldn't have managed to even read a page at all. So the book itself, the formatting was, the person that did the formatting did not consider the eyes of the reader. So when you are preparing your book and you get to formatting stage, you must put into consideration those that want to read your book. Proper formatting enhances readability and presentation. Now, for digital book and for hard copies, there is the required font size. Now, at the same time, the font size that is very applicable or that looks appealing for ebook might be too bold or too big for uh, hard copy. So let's moving on. Let's talk about the purpose of book formatting. Why is book formatting so important? Out of many other reasons, the crucial importance and reasons for book formatting is that number one, it enhances readability. When your book is properly formatted, it will be very easy for people for readers to read to navigate while they are reading. A well formatted books are easier to read, and when you can read the book easily, you will be able to grab the point as fast as possible. Secondly, professionalism. It shows that this book, yes, is professional book. If you are, just like what our leader said the other time, that your book is not majorly about you. It is about your audience. Though you are the author, you are the one that write the book, it's you that God gives the inspiration and the idea. But the book itself is not about you, it's about your reader. So it must be professional enough. You must not prepare a book that readers will not carry the book, drop it, and at the end of the day, just be you alone and your friends, family and friends that will read the book. Another reason why book formatting is very, very important is publishing standard. Publishers often have specific formatting requirements. So there's publishing standards. So you must be very, aware of the standards while you are working on your book automatically. For example, now Amazon has its own formatting standard. I've had video about authors coming to me, to help upload their book on Amazon, and they said they they have tried it before, and their book got rejected, and there are particular um, error that Amazon was making pointing out, especially for paperback on Amazon. So you must be aware of this standard, and when you put that publishing standard in place, it will help you to arrange and format your book very well. And at the same time, when your book is not properly formatted, that you don't put into consideration the line spacing, the the no the amount of space that should be around your book, the interior. When it comes to trimming, when you get to trimming stage of the book, you see that some of the words will be cut away. In fact, there's something we call gutter. Gutter in the book is the space between two pages. For example, when you staple a book, that space that is created is called gutter. That space is the interior part of the spine. So now, if the book is not properly positioned and formatted, you will see that some words will fall into the gutter, and it's very, very difficult to read. You just have to be bending the book before you can actually read it. So another thing is ebook compatibility. So just like publishing standard. So when your book is appropriately formatted, no online platform that will reject it. Now, what are the consequences for poor formatting? We are moving on. The consequences for poor formatting. Now, number one consequence for poor formatting, excuse me, is readability issues. Improper formatting can make the text difficult to read and it will affect the eyes. So if your book is is not formatted properly, it affects the height. So you're going to have readability issues. The second thing is that professional concern. A poorly formatted book may be perceived as unprofessional and potentially impacting the editor and author's reputation and credibility. So when your first book is not properly formatted, and that alone can discourage readers. And by the time they get out, they hear that you are authoring or publishing another book, they consider it that this person is not ready or does not know what he's doing. So we must actually take time for formatting. And the same thing is reader distraction. For example, now we have books of inconsistent fonts where your font is not they are not consistent. The font type or size that you use in chapter one is there from the one you use in chapter two, and also the line spacing, inconsistent line spacing, and also the layout. When your layout is not, you know, properly structured, it can distract the readers from the content, and they will not be able to grab the information you are trying to pass. They will not be able to get the inspiration in the book. So, in fact, book formatting itself is what beautify your book. Is define, it's just like when you are actually designing a cake that has been prepared. It's what beautify it. Another thing is negative reviews. These are the consequences of poorly formatted book. So the negative reviews is that you get, readers may leave negative reviews due to formatting issues. And when you have negative reviews on your book, it affects the reputation of the book and the sales. It will consequently affect the sales. There are people that before they buy ebook, they will go and check the reviews. And at the same time, also, there are some books that you have read that you actually recommend to your friends and family that I've read this book, very, very powerful. But when readers when they give negative reviews, it will affect your sales and the reputation of the author. Printing problems are actually encountered this times with that number working with authors when they bring book to us. Because I print book for clients as well. I print a book recently for someone at the youth. The book gave us a lot of issues to the point that we have to recommend to the person that if you want us to keep continue this book for you, we have to reformat this book because the kind of formatting that was done, it was not, the standard for the printing. The font size was too tiny, was too small. So printing issue is also a problem of poorly formatted books. At the same time, limited publishing opportunities. There will be limited publishing opportunities. So it's not that some online platform will reject the book and also compatibility challenges. Just like the opposite of the importance, they are the major challenges of poorly formatted books. So overall, investing time and effort into proper book formatting is crucial for a positive reader experience and the success of the book in the market. So moving on, it's not about the three main parts of book. What are the three main parts of the book? The three main parts of the book, we have the front matter. So the front matter is talking about is starting from they are the preliminary pages. That is the title page, the copyright page, the introduction, the table of content. So these are the front matter. These are the these are the exciting area that people see first when they actually open the book. So that page must be given a very meaningful attention. Also, the body, that is the main story or the content, and that is from your introduction or from your chapter one to the last chapter. Then the back matter, so they are the conclusion. The conclusion, they about the book, they about the author, the references, whatsoever you have after the book, maybe other books by the author, all those areas. So you must be able to give attention to that. Big and they are not too small. They are moderate. So you choose very beautiful and good font. We have some fonts that are they are stylish fonts. The font that they look attractive, they look beautiful, like for design. They are exclusively for design. They are not for formatting. You cannot use those kind of fonts to format the interior part of your book. Number two, you make your text look happy. How do you do that? You use headings, paragraphs, and spacing to make it look nice. Are you following? So now, when I'm talking about what are the headings, what are the paragraph, what is the line spacing of the normal text and the paragraph. So you have to consider that as well. There are times that the standard line spacing is 1.5 line spacing for books. But for you to use above 1.5, there must be a reason. You can use below 1.5, you can use 1.25, you can use 1.15. They are still okay, depending on the content and the volume of the material that you are formatting. At the same time, you have to consider the margins, the headers, the footers, and all this will make it look fancy. So what are the margin? What are you putting in the headers and in the footers? So the headers we are talking about. Okay, in the headers you may decide to put the title of the book or the name of the author. The footer you might decide to put the page number and some other information. So you just play around it and make it look beautiful, especially for ebooks. So ebooks should be very, very attractive, should look beautiful and properly formatted. Now, number five, you have to check and double check. before you finally publish the book after you have done the formatting. There are times that after formatting, some things, some ways, some design that you have done into it might actually miss their places. So you have to check again before you what you take your time to check before you publish the book. Now, book formatting tools. What are the tools that you need if you are to format a book? The book formatting tools. We have Microsoft Word, we have Canva, we have Adobe InDesign, we have Google Docs, we have WPS, we have Microsoft 365. All these they are amazing tools. We have many of them. So all these they are amazing tools that you can use for what? For formatting. So and some of these work on smartphone also. So it is not only on PC. So you can do it on smartphone. So we have Canva can work on smartphone, Google Docs, WPS, even Microsoft 365 can work on smartphone as well. So what are the tips and tricks in formatting? Number one is just that you keep it simple and make sure you are consistent. You keep the process very simple and you are consistent about the font size and the font type that you choose to use. Also, you can use images and graphics to make it full of fun. At the same time, try to get feedback after your book has been formatted. Try to get feedback. In conclusion, book formatting is an art that makes your book look amazing and easy to read. So remember the 5 golden rules and practice, 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 practice. At the same time, I will also add it to this as a bonus. If you are new to book formatting or you are a new author or publisher, you can actually lay your hands on some books to see how they are formatted. For example, I have few examples here. Now this is the interior part of a book. This is the title page. You can see the layout. We have another one here. Okay. Yes, this is the copyright page of another book. So this the author of this book is also an influencer online. Some of you might have come across this particular book. I did the formatting. This the copyright page of another book. We have so many of them because of the time I cannot know sure. So this is another book formatting. In fact, I was glad when I saw the printed copy of this book that was printed from Amazon. This book was eventually uploaded on Amazon and it was printed. Now this is another book. So we have all right. So there are so many examples. There are so many examples. So that is all that I will be talking on about book formatting tonight. And in case you are willing to learn the art of book formatting, I currently have a course of book formatting that is ongoing on. So the duration of the course is 7 weeks. The information is already on your screen. The title of the course is a format like a pro. So in this formatting, you will learn both basic and advanced formatting skill. So the course outline are here. We have about 16 course outlines. Here we talk about introduction to professional book formatting. We give you a complete guide to book formatting with smartphones, both basic and advanced. We talk about all these things, and you will become a professional book formatting. And with book formatting also, you can earn income. You can earn passive income with book formatting. I've been formatting book close to 2 years now. Yes, over 2 years. I mean, I've been formatting book, and I've worked with many editors and authors. I've worked directly with authors and editors, so I can assure you that you will get value for your money, and at the same time, you yourself can eventually earn passive income with book formatting. So that is all for tonight on the art of book formatting. If you follow this process, you're able to create a professionally looking book. I will be glad and I will be excited to attend to your questions in case you have any questions. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for that insightful session. a poor formatted material will be so hard for the readers to take in. So it's very important for you to format your books very well before publishing. Okay, that's great. If you have questions, please can we see them in the comments so we can ask Mr. Paul, please. Questions, questions, questions. Let's maximize our time. Drop your questions, guys. Drop your questions. If you have questions for Mr. Paul. Okay, we have a question. What skills and software are required to become a professional book formatter? Mr. Paul, over to you, please. In a few seconds, explain to us.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? They said what
All right, I
skills
can
and
hear now.
software are required to become a professional book formatter? I said in a few seconds,
Okay,
just tell us what skills are required.
okay. What skills and software are required? Wow. Yes, number one, you just have to be creative. Creativity is a very important or very required skill. Be creative. Then secondly, the software that are required, I've just mentioned them is on one of the slide. You need Google Doc, you need WPS, you need Microsoft. All these they are very very important. They are very nice. Even Canva, with Canva you can actually format. They are very very nice tools, and if you can learn the act, then you'll be able to manipulate and use it effectively for book formatting. I hope I've answered the
Okay,
question.
thank you so much, Mr. Paul. Thank you so much. That was understanding. Canva, Google Docs, Microsoft Word, have them at your disposal so you can be able to format properly. So any more questions? So we can go ahead. Audience, any more questions? Can I see them? Okay, we have another question. How can I prepare my manuscript for formatting and what files do I need to provide?
Okay.
How can I prepare my
While
manuscript and what files do
while
I
you
need to
are
provide?
trying to prepare your manuscript for formatting, yes, you have to provide the doc file, the document file of your manuscript. That is what you provide or you give to the person that wants to format it. After it has been edited, ensure your work has been edited and proofread before you give it out for formatting. You understand? If at all there will be little adjustment, it should not be elaborate one, maybe something that was an oversight during the editing and proofreading, because it doesn't speak well, and at times it scatter the work again while formatting, and you are trying to still edit. So the editing and proofreading should have been done. Then you provide the manuals and the document file to the person that wants to format it, and to be formatted, and the person will return it back to you in PDF and also in a document form for you to keep.
Okay,
I
that's
think
great. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Paul. So we'll be moving ahead. So we'll go for a short break. Okay, we have another question. How do I know that my manuscript needs formatting?
I've just said I think I mentioned this at the
Yes, I
beginning
think you
that we
answered
have
that.
five
Yes.
basic stages of book publishing or book writing. So without formatting, your book is not complete. Your manuscript can never become a book. So book formatting is an integral part of your book publishing. So after your first stage is writing stage. After the writing stage, you have the editing and proofreading. The third stage is the formatting. Then you come out with the graphics design. Then you design your your book cover design. Then the last stage is the publishing, either for digital book or hardcovers.
Okay,
So you
thank you
don't need
so
to know.
much
You know
for
already that your manuscript needs formatting.
thank you so much. So
And let me quickly add it. I'm sorry. We should not actually book formatting and editing. They are different. They are two different things. They are not the same. So sometimes authors or new authors take it for each other. They think formatting will be done together with editing. Although we have editors that have the book formatting skill, so they can do that. But book formatting is actually separating compared to editing and proofreading.
Thank you so much. We'll be going for a short break now. Stay tuned and still active. Okay, our third speaker is not around yet, so
All right. So, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, everyone?
yes, we can hear you.
Am I audible enough? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much. So at this junction, I hope Mr. Paul is still around. I hope he's still, sir. If you can hear me, just let me know, sir. Mr. Paul, if you are still here and you can hear me, kindly let me know if you can hear me. All right, so on the screen now, we have the flyer to his upcoming course, though the course is, I think, yeah, the course is, it's been running already, and so they're having like another batch entirely. That's the format, like a pro course. And the price and the payment details are being shown on the screen, as well as what you are going to learn. So if you are here, you are an author, or you are someone who is looking to acquire a skill in the book publishing industry, this is a great offer for you. This is something to jump on and sign up to be a part of this particular program. Format like a pro. Just like Mr. Paul mentioned, formatting is very, very important. Formatting is very important. And I like to say this: most authors do not even know that there is something like book formatting in the stages or process of publishing book. Like, once they design their cover and they manage to edit, they don't even know that there's anything like book formatting. Like, they don't know. So they'll start asking questions like, what is book formatting? I've gotten that questions quite a number of times on the notes that I'm a book project consultant. Okay. And so they'll be like, oh, what's book formatting? They now start explaining to them. And some of them are like, well, is there anything big deal about it? To them, they might feel that their manuscript is well arranged. But one thing they don't know is that if they decide to upload that manuscript to other platforms, it might scatter. The arrangement might scatter. Everything might flop up. Before you know it, you have, mostly, one very common problem is that you have chapter one, chapter two inside of chapter one, because normally your chapters are meant to be separate, like chapter one separate, chapter two separate. But if the formatting is not properly done, the chapters will get muddled up, like they will merge up together by themselves without your consent. So formatting is very, very important. It's usually done alongside the interior book design or the layout of the book, like the total appearance of the book. And also too, when formatting is done, they also help you to put your book in formats that would be acceptable on online publishing platform, because if they are not in those formats, there might also be issues, because we have formats like EPUB. There are some platforms that if you want to upload book on them, you can only upload it in EPUB. A very good example of such platform is the defunct Okada Books. It's no longer existing anymore. But before now, Okada Books, when it was still existing, you have to submit your ebook on that platform as EPUB format. So book formatters, that's their job. So they will help you convert after they must have done the whole designing, putting the text in order, making sure it's appealing to the eyes. They would help you format that. And Mr. Paul is a pro at that. He does that excellently well, and he has a course on it. So, and another thing I like to say, I think we did not really talk about the business side of things. I don't know if Mr. Paul is still here. I want him. I would have loved that he should talk about the business side of this skill. Mr. Paul, if you can hear me, let me know.
I can hear you.
All right, sir. So please let us know the business side of this. So for people that want to show interest in learning, because some people really do not know that there is money in book publishing industry. Let me
Hey,
just give you expo. There is money in it. Like
hey,
any niche you decide to venture into, there is money in it. So let me just give you a few minutes to talk about the business side of book formatting.
thank you very much, man. Book formatting is very, very essential. In fact, we also have another aspect of book formatting, that is the printable layout. It's also part of book formatting. When you format your book the ebooks, the way it appear in ebooks, that's not how it will appear in printed and printable copies. So at times on a cheat, you can have your by the time if you remove the book from the middle, you will see that your page 70 may be staying together with page 120, 124. So that one is another aspect entirely in book formatting. And those that do that collect special fee for that before they print the book. So we do that also at Pagecraft Academy. And the business side is that, these days now, people now see the fact that when you die, what you know dies with you. So everybody is very eager and very prepared to write a book to make sure they tell people, or they dish out their knowledge to impact life. So there are a lot of more authors are emerging every day. So it means that it's a lucrative business aspect of in this book publishing industry, because there are more authors every day, and the more there are authors, the more there will be need for the service of book formatting. Now, for example, now I should tell you now, since January, there's no week that I've not been on a formatting project. At least at least two books in a week. So it's very, and when I started it, I remember just like what our convener said about cover design. Said she started designing 3,000 naira. Yes, I also started like that. When I would just go to that, I was just looking for, approval, acceptability. Say, just send me, I will help you do it. I can do it. I can do it. But now it's a big side also for me, and it can even actually help me to to finance my offline business. So the least that I charge for formatting now, maybe when the book is less than 40 pages, that is when I can actually charge 5,000 naira, and it's it's on a compassionate grant. So the book formatting industry, if you learn the craft very well, and I've actually trained more than 30 people in the previous batch, and they are doing well, and we are actually working together because I'm trying to build a community of book formatting. So I'm not just teaching them and leave them alone. In fact, the reason why we put a price tag here now is that the top three people will be working with me directly for the book formatting, because I'm getting more jobs every day, and there are times that I will not be able to do the jobs by own, but I need the top people that will learn this craft. And when they learn very well, when we are certified that yes, these people are the top, then we employ them and they'll be working with us directly at Pagecraft Academy.
Wow, wow, amazing, amazing. Wow. So guys, you have heard it all. Like I said, this is an expo, but I've decided to give you the expo that there is money in the book publishing industry. To say that people will stop publishing books is a lie. Oh. People will publish. Nigerians will publish books. They are doing that, and more people will still publish books. People that have published books before will still continue to write more books and churn out great books out there. So if you are looking to acquire a skill, you are young, you are watching us here, you are thinking, what skill can I acquire in my teenage years, in my youthful years? These are skills you can pick up and acquire. Yesterday, we had a ghostwriter talk to us yesterday. We had a professional book editor talk to us yesterday. We have someone that is into Facebook ads management, Facebook ads and social media management talk to us. These are skills that you can acquire. You can choose to learn them. You can meet with these speakers, and interact with them. They have courses. Virtually all of them have courses. They have one-on-one classes that you can enroll with them on, and they will take you through the in and out of these skills, and from there you can begin to earn. It's so interesting how these things work, and we just take it like, oh, it's just there. Like this book formatting that I know, hey, God, like he just said, it's a very lucrative stuff. It's a very, very lucrative. And the thing is that through this is a course, you can learn it using your phone as well. There's a way they will teach you how to use your phone to format. So you don't even have any excuse to say, I cannot learn because I do not have a laptop. Even with your smartphone, you can always, join this class and learn how to format your book. And the fees are very considerable as well. It's relatively cheap. I mean, imagine you pay this small amount of money and then you begin to get jobs. Like, even in one job is enough to pay your fee already, and this is like a skill that you're going to be using for a lifetime. So do well. And also he has a very wonderful bonus as well too for the first three students that gets to do well. So it's not really about buying courses or attending training, it's about acting on it. You have to be serious with it. Don't just buy courses or buy books and just buy, and that's all. You not even take action. You will not submit assignment, you will not complete tasks. And I think that's what is happening in our world today, where I think it's too much information really. They believe that the informations are readily available and that they can come back to them anytime they like. But life doesn't work like that. So whatever it is that you want to do it now. Now is always the best time to act on whatever it is that you want to do. I believe you can hear me, right? It seems my screen is frozen at my own end here. I believe that we can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, because my screen is frozen here. That's why I'm saying that. So thank you so much, Mr. Paul, for joining us this evening. Thank you so very much. It's a pleasure having you here tonight. Thank you so very much. All right. So while we wait for our third speaker to join us, we're going to quickly go on a short break, and then we'll come back and continue with the program. All right, everyone, welcome back once again. This is the PublishNation Virtual Conference 3.0, and this happens to be the final day, day two of the event. I believe that we are learning. I believe that we've also learned quite a lot. I mean, PublishNation Virtual Conference it's an avenue whereby you get to learn, you unlearn, and you learn new things regarding book publishing industry. And just like I said, we've had amazing time since yesterday and today as well too. Our speakers have done justice. I have taken my own part, my section, which is on book cover design, where we looked at the topic from concept to cover, and we looked at the essential skills, and how you can make sure that you succeed at your book cover design. Like you come out with something that is awesome, something that is nice, and something that is great. And just as a reminder as well, too, like I said, this is my own course here, ebook cover design blueprint course. This course is readily available to you at 2,000 naira. The price of this course is 5K, but for the purpose of this particular conference, you can get it for 2K. After this conference, or after today, the price is going to go back to 5,000. So you can just use this opportunity to get this skill, to acquire the skill of learning how to design ebook covers, basically. And so, if you remember in the slides I shared while I was presenting earlier, I made mention of tools that you can use to design. I made mention of design tools, and I listed quite a number of them. I talked about Microsoft Word. Quite funny, Microsoft Word is very, very versatile, like very versatile. If you remember, you were here yesterday, you can remember that the editor made mention of that in our in our conversation here yesterday. She made mention of Microsoft Word as also a very good editing tool, though it's not the best, but at least for somebody to start with, you can make use of your Microsoft Word software to edit your book, although it's not like the standard or the best, because it also has some grammar corrections in it, inbuilt in it, that you can use to correct and check your sentences and grammar. Even at the time when we also sharing on book project management too, we also talked about apps and software that you can also use to type your manuscripts. Okay, you can download Microsoft Word, Google Docs from online into your phone, both the mobile version and desktop version as well. So Microsoft Word is very versatile. It's surprising to some people to know that you can also design a cover of Microsoft Word. Yes, you can design, although it, like I said, it has its own limitation. It's not built for designing. It's basically a word processing app. But for the sole purpose of you wanting to just do a minimalistic design, like a very simple design, you can use Microsoft Word to do that. Okay, I also talked about Microsoft Publisher, which is also another suite in the Microsoft, like the entire package of the Microsoft suite itself. There I also mentioned I mentioned InDesign. Yes, Adobe InDesign. That one is like a superior or higher grade kind of software or app that you can use to design book covers as well. You can, like, for formatting as well. Mr. Paul mentioned that you can use it for formatting as well too. It's high grade, like it's quite superior. All right. Then also we have Pixel Lab. Pixel Lab these days is very common to hear the word Pixel Lab amongst graphic designers. Like for their flyers, they use Pixel Labs, and to do all of their designs and stuff like that. You can also use your Pixel Lab to design your cover as well too. All you just need to do is just to understand how these things work, and it's very simple. Okay. Aside from Pixel Lab, you can also use Canva. Now, for this particular course, the ebook cover design blueprint course, there you'll be taught how to use Canva to design covers. See, a lot of things have been said in the graphic design world. Oh, Canva is this, Canva is that. But do you know what? It's not really. I used to say this, and this cut across all of these skill sets that we mentioned. It's not really about the tools that you are using. It's about how well you know the tool in out and be able to use it to achieve the desired results. That's it. Somebody can have a Mac Pro, a MacBook now, and does not know the advantage. And they're like, maybe they are discussing with their friends, and they're like, you can use your MacBook to do this and that. And the person's like, I've never seen this feature on my MacBook before. I don't even know what it is. They're like, oh, you are missing, because they've not explored, right? Even though the person has the MacBook, is a tool, a great tool at that, but the person does not know what the MacBook is capable of doing. So it is not really about, oh, it is one small tool, it is one small app. Is it the app you are using? It's not about that. You can use small apps, small tools to do big things. It's just about the person behind the tool, who is using the tool, how creative is that person, how intelligent is that person, what can the person make out of that particular tool. That's the important thing. So in this particular course, ebook cover design blueprint course, you would be learning how to use Canva to design ebooks. And when I say you're learning how to use Canva to design ebooks, I'm not talking about templates. It's not about templates. We're not talking about templates here, different from templates. You're not using templates to do your design. Okay. So this one, you're going to be taught how to design from scratch, like, and then also the site where you are going to be getting your mock-up designs from. Okay, because mock-up is actually the life of your cover design, right? You cannot be sharing your cover design every now and then, that big picture. You want to have something that is quite presentable, something that looks like the real deal. That's your mock-up, right? If you listen to my teaching earlier on, I quickly explained what a mock-up is. That it's a three-dimensional representation of your book cover, like it's looking like a real book, though it's not realistic, but at least you can imagine or picture what it will look like if you eventually print out that particular book in hard copy. So that is what 3D mock-up or mock-up generally is all about. So it's very important, and because, like I said, it's going for 2,000 naira instead of 5,000 naira. So you can just do well to jump on the offer tonight. Send me a message or WhatsApp, and you will be well attended to on that. And then there's also a support group as well. So the way it works is that you have, after watching the videos, then there will be I usually drop cover designs that I've done as samples for you to work with. So you are going to be replicating those designs. And so anyone that gets it well, like that your own design almost looks like the original one, you also go away with, you get gifts as well too, as a token, just to say well done, you are improving. And by the time you follow through all of these daily exercises, definitely you will come out well. Just like I mentioned in my slide, that practice is very important. Practice all these things that we are sharing here today. If you don't practice it, there's no you can know it. It's not a crime. Okay, so it is very important that you practice, practice, practice. Okay, practice, check other, and even this idea of, when it comes to cover designs, it's not just for the upcoming ones or for designers or for people that are trying to become a cover designer. It's not just for them alone. If you are a, how would I call it now? If you are a if you're an author too, authors need to also know they need to get acquainted with different cover design styles. There are sometimes to design, I don't know, some people, I don't know. I'm like, this is 2024, yo. Like, this is, we are improving. So, like, you need to, but if you design there are about three formats of sample of cover designs, right? If you give some clients some design, you'll be like, no, I don't like this format, please change it, because they are used to that old old method where you have the title on the top, then the picture in the middle, and then the author's name below. People are not that used to the format that says have the author's name at the top, have the picture at the middle, and then have the title at the bottom. They're like, no, 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 no. I don't like this style. Why is it like this? And let me this is not to shade. This is not to shade our daddies and mommies actually, but they are the ones that used to do that. And they're like, oh, this is old, this is this. I don't like it. Please give me the normal format. And like I explained earlier too, your cover design is not really about you. Please understand that. In fact, everything that has to do with your book project is not just about you. So do not try to enforce your personal opinions or personal things that you like. You do not try to do that. I would always say this, that once you finish, immediately you drop your pen and to say, I finished writing my manuscript, you need to leave uh, you need to leave the position of an author and assume the position of a reader. Once you drop your writing pen to say, oh, I'm done writing my manuscript, I'm sure what I've written here, the next thing is that you need to take on or assume the position of a reader. If you forever remain at that position of being an author, you will do things to please yourself solely. In fact, you will not even take cognizance of who are my audience, what do they want to buy, what do they want to see in this book, what do they want to read, what applies. So as an author too, try and check covers within your niche, within your topic, that area in which you are written on. Check other covers there, like see the different designs, so that you too, you can be able to at least have an input to what your cover designer is going to give, to say, oh, I saw these designs and I love them. Can you just check through and let that guide you in what you're going to do for me? That one is better than you saying you must use color red for me because red is my best color. No, it's not about red. It's not about your best color or something. All right. So I don't know if I want to believe that our third speaker is available. I can see her in the waiting room. I believe that she's ready for us tonight because she's going to be taking us on the cocoa. It's not the cocoa, but it's the cocoa. But some people, especially authors, they always like this part. They like this part a lot, and it's not because the platform is nice, but because they know that this part is attached with money, and it is that money thing that is that they like, that is attracting them, because they want to earn in dollars. So our guest here tonight is going to be talking to us on Amazon KDP publishing. So she's going to be talking about that, and as well as other online book publishing platforms. She's going to help us know more about them, what applies, what's applicable, and what is not applicable. All right, so we would go on a short break right now so that we can have our next speaker join us. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so over to you, Chidima.
Okay, welcome back, guys. We have our third speaker available now, so we're going to go ahead to business. So our third speaker is Bolanle Oguleye. So I'll read her bio for you now, so we know who we're speaking with. So, studio. Bolanle is a trained lawyer by profession, a writer and publisher par excellence. She's a published author. For years now, as a digital publishing expert, I have helped many authors publish their books across digital platforms. She has also trained over 200 individuals on how to do the same. She can teach on how to publish on Amazon and other digital platforms. Since she started practicing as a lawyer, she has been able to help many businesses, non governmental organizations avoid missing out on opportunities due to legal mistakes. As an incorporation expert, Bolali incorporated over 100 businesses, NGOs, with the Corporate Affairs Commission while resolving many pre and post incorporation matters. She runs a virtual hub, Incorporation Expert Inner Cycle, for young lawyers where she helps them resolve incorporation issues. Also, she writes and blogs too. Currently, she has published two collections of poems. So, welcome, Miss Bonali, and please take the stage. You have the next 20 minutes. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Okay. Mm, mm, mm. All right, can you hear me, everyone? Good evening. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
So
hear you
I think
clearly.
I'll just join fully. All right, thank you very much. Thank you for the introduction and thank you for this invite. It is an honor to be here tonight. I'm sorry, I'm trying to connect with my other phone too, so that I can see if there are comments I need to attend to. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Miss Oluwabori, for this invite. So tonight I'll be talking about online publishing platforms, understanding understanding the options and choosing the right one for you. I hope you can all hear me very well. Okay, so I'll just start. All right. So I know that we have learned a lot since the beginning of this conference, since the beginning of this online conference, and it has been enlightening and insightful at the same time. So I know that this is another time for us to learn more. This is another time for us to learn more about online publishing. So if you're an author and a writer, please get your pen and learn, because we all have a lot to learn. And this session is going to be short, straightforward, and insightful at the same time. Okay, so online publishing platforms, understanding the options and choosing the right one for you. Understanding the options and choosing the right one for you. So I'll start with this. What do you understand by online publishing? Because if you are going to choose options from something, then you should understand what it is all about. So what do you understand by online publishing? When you say you are publishing your book online, what does it mean? Now, online publishing has to do with putting your ebooks, putting your book in on putting your already published books, putting them in online platforms. People also call it digital publishing. It is either you call it digital publishing or online publishing. Now, before this time, before this era, before this phase came into being, before the likes of Amazon came on the scene, it was not like that. Authors had to wait till they have enough money to publish their books on this on to publish their books in paperbacks or hardcover. But now things are changing, and it has opened up so many opportunities for authors. Authors can now publish their books on digital platforms without having to stress themselves about waiting till they have enough money. In those days, authors went through a lot, and it was such that you couldn't just publish your book if you don't have enough money, or if you don't have the acceptance of traditional publishers. But now things are different, things have changed. You don't have to wait till someone approves your book before you go ahead to publish your book. So now, instead of waiting till you have enough money to publish your book in digital format, in paperback format or hardcover format, you can just go ahead and publish your books on online platforms. Now, when I'm talking about digital publishing, there are so many advantages, though it has some disadvantages though. But I must say that the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. Now, the advantages include the fact that it is cheaper. It is cheaper. You don't have to wait till you have money to print before you get your book out there. You understand? So it is cheaper, it is faster, it is easier to be it is easier. You understand? It is easier, it is cheaper, it is faster. You don't have to wait till you have millions of naira or thousands of naira. At least with just a little bit, you can publish on digital platforms, especially if you know how to do those things by yourself. It is easier for you to do. Now, when you're talking about online digital platforms, we have options. You also have options as a writer or an author. You have options to choose from. Now, these options are in two categories. We have the local platforms, and we have the local platforms, and we have the international platforms. Now, when you say local platforms, I mean that those platforms are the platforms that are easily acceptable, like easily accessible in quotes. When I say accessible in quotes, they are easily accessible because they are local in nature. Now, I'm talking from a standpoint of a Nigerian. They are digital platforms that are owned by Nigerians. And because they are owned by Nigerians, it is quite easy for Nigerians or other Africans to access those platforms. Now, we have other ones that are international platforms. Now, when I say international platforms, it means that they are not owned by Nigerians. And yes, we have access because the world is a global village. But at the same time, there are some times when you might have some little issues to access them. So they are international platforms, and most of the time you have to talk about getting what's it called? You have to talk about getting $1 account to be able to get whatever you make from the platform. But it is not like that when you are talking about local platforms, because local platforms are basically Nigerian platforms. So you don't have to stress yourself about thinking of, oh, how do I get when I sell a book on Amazon, how do I get my money and all that. You don't have to stress because they are local platforms. Now, international platforms. So we have international platforms and we have local platforms. Now, let me focus a little bit on local platforms. One thing about these local platforms is that when you are talking about Nigerians, when your main aim is to reach out to Nigerians, when you have it in mind to reach out to Nigerians, you can actually decide to go for the local platforms. But one painful thing recently is that a lot of these local platforms are going through issues. If you've been online for a while, you would understand that sometime last year, November 30th, 2023 precisely, Okada books went offline. Like they stopped operating, like totally. They stopped operating in Nigeria, and they are not operating anywhere else anyway. They stopped. But meanwhile, before 2023, at least let's say since 2017, 2018, they were operating in Nigeria, and that platform was such a great platform for Nigerians because Nigerian authors could easily publish their books on that platform without having to go through the hassle of, oh, how do I get my money? Oh, how easy is it for someone to buy my book? As a Nigerian, most times when I publish book for people on Amazon, and they're like, oh, someone wants to buy my book from Nigeria, and the person could not easily buy it on Amazon. How do I go about it? Is anything the matter? Sometimes I tell them, see, there is a third world fence, and if this person that wants to get your book on Amazon, if the person does not have a VPN, or if the person does not know how to go about it in court, that person might not be able to get your book on Amazon. So when we had a platform like Okada Books, it was quite easy because authors didn't have to think of that. Authors didn't have to think of the fact that, oh, I don't know if Nigerian readers will be able to read my book. I don't know if Nigerian readers will be able to get my books when they need them. So it was quite easy for Nigerian readers, and it was quite easy for Nigerian authors to get their books online and to have people buy their books on Okada Books. But the unfortunate thing is that this platform, local platforms, some of them are closing down. And some of them that are not even closing down, they are going through issues. There has been issues where, there has been issues where there have been issues where um things happen and they just close down. They just close down. At least as I speak, I know of at least two of those platforms. So while we can pray that the economy of the country would come up, and the economy of the country would be better and favorable to this platform, so that they can stay and so that they can easily operate, we have to know our options. So before now, if you had told me to talk about this particular topic last year September, I would have said the number one platform I would have told you when it comes to local platforms will have been Okada Books. But at the moment, Okada Books is no longer in the picture. So when you're talking of local platforms in Nigeria, Okada Books is out of it because they are no longer operating. Now, if you have books on Okada Books, let's say when they were operating, you bought some books there or you published some of your books there. Well, the good thing is if your readers, if they got those books before they closed down, they will still be able to access the book. Well, I have a feeling that at some point everything is just going to go away. Like the people will stop having access to the books they bought when Okada Books app was still operational. But for now, you can still read. But the thing is, they are no longer operating. So if you're an author, you can no longer publish your book there. It is not going to be possible. So now that Okada Books is out of the picture, what are the options that you have locally? Like you want to publish your book locally, like you want it to be easily accessible to Nigerians locally. What are the options you have? Now, Okada Books is out of the picture. Now, what are the options you have? Number one, Bambooks. Bambooks operates like Bambooks operate like an online library. So the way Bambook operates, it operates like an online library where you can read books. So you subscribe. Let's say the last time I subscribed, I think it was 3,500, but I guess someone told me it is now 7,000. Yeah. So you subscribe per month and you read as many books as you want. Now, if you're a Nigerian reader, if you're a reader, you would really love that because it gives you the opportunity to read as many books as possible in a month. You can read from fiction, non-fiction, a lot of books, religious books, different books from different genres. You can read as many books as you want. But there are some platforms that are not like that. Now, when you are talking about bound books, it's if you're an author, you have to consider the fact that are you going to get so much money? Because it is not like other books, or it is not like a platform where they will buy your book and read it no, they will just read and you'll be paid according to the number of pages read. According to the number of pages read. You now let's say 50 people read your books, 50 people downloaded your books on Okada Books, and at the end of the day, in summary, they read, let's say, 20 pages. Let's say reader A read just 5 pages. Reader B read 2 pages. Reader 3 read 3 pages. By the time they sum up everything, let's say everything is 20 pages read, you'll be paid for just 20 pages. It is not like a platform where you can say, oh, my book is 2,000 naira, my ebook is 2,000 naira, and anybody that wants to buy my book would have to pay that 2,000 naira, and I will get a commission. No, it is not like that. It is according to the number of pages read. So at the end of the day, you might find out that the payout might not be so encouraging. Might not be so encouraging, except if you have so many people reading your books at the same time. Thank you, Joy, for joining. Okay, so except if you have a lot of people reading your book at the same time, so that at the end of the month you can get enough money, you can get something, tangible to take home. So if you are not careful, if Bambooks is the only place where you are publishing your book, I can tell you that if you don't have so many readers, it might not be encouraging. But it also has a good side. One of the good sides is that when your book is on a platform like Bambooks, you have readers. It is going to be easy for readers, people that read, people that read books. It's going to be easy for them to discover you. So even if you are not going to think of, oh, how much am I likely to make from pages read, if you are not going to think of that, you can just imagine the fact that your book will be open to so many readers, people that read in Nigeria and Africa. They will be able to see your book and say, oh, let me check out this author. I have met so many authors on Okada books. Like, there are so many authors that I didn't get to know them until I found their books on Bambooks. So it has its own advantages and it has its own disadvantages. And the disadvantage is that if you don't have enough people reading your book at once, you might not like the payouts. Now, I have talked about Bambooks. Now let's talk about seller. Now I understand that seller is like a marketplace. Seller is a marketplace where you can sell your courses, you can sell your books. Even though so many people don't think that they can buy books on seller, because for instance, when Okada Books went out of line, when Okada Books closed business, when they closed shop, in that sense, when Okada Books left the stage, so many authors moved their books from Okada Books. They moved their books to seller. So seller is a marketplace in that sense. You can sell your books, you can sell courses, you can sell so many things on seller. Now, also serves seller also serves as an online digital platform for books at the moment. Seller is one of the options you have. If you're a Nigerian and you really want to reach out to Nigerians, you really want Nigerians to read your books, seller is a second option for you. Seller. Now, one of the advantages that seller has over Bambooks is that I can decide that my book is 5,000 naira and I'll be paid 5,000 naira. That is to say, nobody can get my book without paying the 5,000. If I say my book is 5,000 naira, you can't get my book until you have paid that 5,000 naira. Even though there will be commission, even though seller would get their own commission by themselves, you can't just say that, oh, you want to just read. No, it's not possible. You would have to pay me my money before you before you even start reading, before you even download the book. You have to pay me my money. And I think that is good for authors, because you don't have to care if if the reader has finished reading your book before you get the money. And the truth is, some people buy books. If you can agree with me, you would even agree with me that you and I, you that you are looking at me right now, you and I, me inclusive, I'm including myself, me inclusive, we have books that we have bought that we have not even read. Is that true? Is that true? I know that is true. We have books that we have bought that we have not read. But the thing is, we have paid we have paid the authors of this book. Now, sometimes people don't read your book. It is not because you didn't write well, but it might be because they have just been busy. life can be busy at times, and you will forget to do some things that you really want to do. So Seller is a good platform for authors. You don't have to wait till someone is done reading before you make your money, and that is good. That is very, very good. But one thing about Seller is that if you don't set your book to read only, it is possible for you to be at risk. It is possible for people to download your book, your PDF, and share to their family and friends. And at the end of the day, you find out that the money that you're supposed to make, you're not getting the money. And someone is just using your book to do Father Christmas somewhere. The book that you struggled to write, the book that you prayed, you fasted, you did a lot of midnight burning of candles to write. Someone is out there distributing your book. In fact, there have been cases of people selling other people's books. Someone will just say, I bought this book for 5,000 naira, and the person is selling the book to people for 1,000 naira and making money off you. So now, if you are publishing your book on Seller and you don't place your book on read only, it is possible for you not to make enough profit, because someone might be out there sharing your book after buying to so many people. They can share it to their families and friends, to their foes and enemies and all that, and you just be there, you just be looking at it like, have I even made enough money? Have I even made the money I used to format this book? Have I made the money for the book covers? Have I made the money for the ad I ran on this book? Have I made the money for the mock-up, because I overheard Miss Oluwa Bori the other time talking about mock-ups and all that. Have I made the money? So if you publish your book on Seller, my advice to you is that you should set the book at read only, such that readers will not be able to download the book. They will just be able to read on that platform. That is an advantage that Bambooks also has, because on Bambooks, nobody can download your book. They can just read, and when they are done reading, end of discussion. Or when they are out of subscription, they can't read again. They can't go back to it. But on Seller, well, since they are bought the book, they can always go back to it to read. So Seller is a good platform. But one thing I would always say, until Seller gets better, until Seller gets better, such that I know they are improving. It is a good platform. They are improving. Until Seller gets better, it is better for you to publish just books that would be easy to read. Let's say like 50 pages, 100 pages. Not well, except if you are talking about fiction, and the fiction now work you are talking about is very interesting. It would be something that you can easily flip and read. If it is not something that would be so interesting that they would want to read at a go, I wouldn't advise you to publish on Seller. You know why? Okay, the reason is because if you are reading a book and the book has 500 pages on Seller, and you start, let's say it is an interesting story, you're enjoying the story, and you've read till like page 50, and all of a sudden you're reading on your phone, and all of a sudden a call comes in, and you have to attend to the call. When you go back to that book on Seller, it is possible for you to have to start from the beginning. Like, you have to flip the pages. Well, I like the way it flips. If you have read on Seller before, you will like the way you can easily use your hand to swipe, and it will look as if you are opening. It will look as if you are opening a book. It will look as if you are swiping a book, the pages of a book like this. Yeah. So that is good. I love the sound of that. But if you have so many pages, it can be frustrating for your readers. They might be like, how do I start again? Like, you have to start from page 1 and flip through till they get to where they stop. So I am hoping that Seller would adjust this part. But Seller is a good option for you to publish a book if you are a Nigerian and you really, really want to reach out to Nigerians. Seller is another option. Now we have another option. I heard, okay, there is this platform. There's this platform. I'm coming. I'm trying to, okay, Pub Pub Pub. They also allow, this platform is more or less like um is more or less like they allow you to, you know, to okay, let's say you need a book, you want to print, you need a copy of a particular book, and that book has been published. You can order just one copy of it. They will print the copy of the book, they will print the book to you, they will print the book and send it to you. So pub, you can write it as an option if you're an author. Pub, 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 pub. Okay, so pub is also a digital platform that would be helpful to you as a reader, Then another one I heard of is T-Baba. Let me just spell it. I don't know if I'm correct with the pronunciation. T-E-E-B-A-B-A. That's also an option. Though I've not really read on that platform, but I know that it is one online option that we can read from. So, but if for now, the primary ones I can really, really recommend for you as a Nigerian, the primary, okay, let me say two: Bound Books and Seller. Now I have explained how these platforms work. If you really want to make your money on the go, the table is broken. The table is broken already. Now, if you really want to make your money on the go for Seller. Now, if you have so many readers, go for Bound Books. So many readers, at least by the time they read, yeah, by the time they read, you will get your money quarterly, and you don't get your money every month, though. You get it quarterly. God help you. If you have God help you, because I'm laughing because the payouts can be something else if you don't have so many people reading your book, and you know, to avoid discouragement, it's better for you to publish your book on different platforms. So that is that about local platforms. I am hoping that in Nigeria at the moment, I'm hoping that a time would come where when a time would come when we would have so many platforms, so many local digital platforms for authors to put their books in. And this would be great. This would really, really be great because it would make it easy for people to read. We really need to read in Nigeria. Okay, now the next platform. Let me go ahead now to international platforms. Now, when we are talking about international platforms, the first thing that comes to mind is, who can guess? Amazon. Amazon KDP. Amazon KDP. Yeah, Amazon KDP. You know, Amazon KDP. Amazon KDP. Now, at some point, people really bastardized this Amazon KDP in Nigeria. They were doing a lot of things on it. They will tell you, you can make a lot of money on Amazon. Da, 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 da. Let me show you this. Da, 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 da. You will make dollars. Yes, you can make cool money on Amazon. That is not even a joke. That is not a joke. But at the same time, you have to know that if you don't put in the work, you will not make money. It is not something that people like to hear, but if you don't put in the work, you will not make money. And it's that Amazon is not a place where you just put your book, and it is not like a tree where you just pluck money. The next day you're plucking money. You are not putting in the work, no adverts, you're not well known, you just place your book on Amazon, you're expecting money. Because you have heard that people are making money on Amazon. That's not true. People are making money on Amazon. That's true. But if you say that you just put your book on Amazon and go to sleep, and the next day, without doing the work, just forget it, my dear. There is nothing like that. The money will not come down from above because you decided to publish on Amazon. In fact, sometimes there was even a time that people come to me and say, "Hey, I want to publish on Amazon. How will I get my money?" I say, "Okay, wait. At that point, just wait. Let me explain to you. I'll teach you how to publish on Amazon. I'll teach you, okay, you have to think about the keywords, you have to think about this, you have to think about that. This thing has its own advantages, it has this and that. I'll tell you all those things. But I am not one of those people that will tell you and promise you because I want to collect money from you. I will not promise you that, oh, when you just publish on Amazon like this, da 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 da, la 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 la, etc. You make money immediately. I will not say that. Why? Because I like my peace of mind, and I will not allow people to put pressure on me and say, "Oh, she promised me. She said once I publish your numbers." That's a lot. That's the life so many people like. That's the life people like to hear. You say when you publish your book on Amazon, before you know is yeah da 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 da, you are earning in dollars. Yes, you can earn in dollars, but at the same time there is work to do. So Amazon KDP is a good place to put your book, especially if you want to be known, if you want to have this global relevance, if your book is on Amazon and someone goes to Google to search your name, Bolani Temde Oguleye, if you put my name on Google search, it is definitely going to show you that, oh, I am on Amazon, I have books on Amazon. That's the good part. And it gives you a sort of credibility because people tend to, you know, respect the fact that, oh, your name is there. Wow, you even publish on Amazon. Wow, that's so good. Yeah, it gives you credibility. I have enjoyed that. It gives you credibility. So when you're thinking of making your book accessible to people beyond Nigeria, beyond the four walls of this country, Amazon KDP is your number one option. Amazon KDP is your number one option because it is so sweet. The last time I checked my Amazon page, I checked my what do I call it? I checked the record. I could see that my book had been read in so many places that I've never been to. US, UK, this continent, that continent. You're like, ow, and you're happy. It's so good. It's so good. I like that feeling, and the fact that people can easily buy your book on that platform. People that are not in Nigeria, they can easily buy it. That's fantastic. So when you're talking about international platforms, then Amazon is your number one option. Now, Amazon KDP, precisely. Now, if your main aim is to reach out to Nigerians, you might want to consider local platforms plus Amazon too. Because if your own main focus is you want Nigerians to read your book, and the only place you have published your book is Amazon KDP, I smile. I smile in a language you can understand. I smile in English because there are times that even you publish the book on Amazon by yourself with your own hand, if you try to purchase the book on Amazon, you might not be able to buy it. You might see something like this book is not accessible or is not available to people in your region because you are in Nigeria, and because you are in Nigeria and you are not even using a VPN to show that something to hide your location and say, oh, I am in Nigeria but I don't want to disclose. Yeah, so there is a third word fence. Yeah, the third word limitations, because there's a third word fence that is not allowing Nigerians to easily buy books on these platforms. And sometimes recently when you try to open an account on Amazon, you might have to face some issues because you're Nigerian and because you are operating from this region. Amazon has a way of knowing because you're Nigerian, Amazon is trying to say, your people are, some of your people have been fraudulent in the past and we are careful. So because they are careful, because they don't just want they don't want to open up their borders to so many Nigerians. So they don't want Nigerians to access these books, and it is painful. It is painful. In fact, when you go to your Google Play Store and you want to download the Amazon app, you want to download the reading app, and it will just tell you this app. You will see the app with your two eyes, but it will tell you that this app is not available, cannot be downloaded by people in this region. It is not available for you because you are in Nigeria. This is painful, but that is the truth. So it is only a few Nigerians can purchase books easily on Amazon. Only a few. In fact, when you try to use some MasterCard, maybe your VAV card, your Visa card, because that is what you have, right? And it might be somehow difficult for you to easily buy the books. So even despite the fact that you are the one that published the book by yourself. But when you are talking about reaching out to people that are not in the country, putting your book out there for SEO purposes, you want to be easily accessible, you want to be globally relevant, you want to have a wider reach, and you want to protect your work too. Amazon is a good place, because when you're publishing your book on Amazon, there's something we call digital rights management. So when you're publishing, you can easily click on digital rights management for your book. So allows you it allows your book to stay on Amazon app alone, like the KDB app, such that Amazon Kindle, I mean, such that they will not be able to download it. Nobody will be able to download the book. They will just be able to read on the Kindle app. I hope you understand. Now, the other time when I explained about bound books, I actually said that it is people can read on it. People can read. So Amazon also has a platform like that, Kindle Unlimited, that allows people who are paid a particular amount of money, that allows them to read books. So if your book is enrolled under Kindle Unlimited, people can easily read your book, and Amazon is going to pay you according to the number of pages read, just like what Bamboo does. But apart from Amazon, there are some other international platforms that people are not exploring. We have cover books is actually okay. It is easier for Nigerians to access cover books. So if you're an author, you might want to consider cover books. Now, if you publish your book on cover books has a way of publishing your book on other platforms too. If you allow it, they will give you the options. When you are publishing, they will give you the options. Do you want us to take this book to other platforms? So you can say yes. Now, when you say yes, they can take your book to Script. I know that Script. Let me try to check the name of the app on my phone. But I know that recently Script, SCRIBD. I'm sorry, I'm trying to check the new name for Script. They changed their name recently. Okay. Okay. They changed their name to Everand. Everand. So cover books can place your book on Everhand. They can place your book on Barnes and Nobles. They can place your books on so many other platforms. There are so many other platforms that they can place your book. So if your book is on cover books, you have that opportunity, because they can publish your book to wider places, to Taylors and Swifts, to so many online digital platforms that you don't even know. But if they do that, you can only get your payment from cover books, because cover books will now act like a publisher in that sense. So we have Amazon. Cover books is there too. So cover books, there's a way that when you publish your book on cover books, and you allow global distribution, cover books is going to help you place your book on so many other platforms like Everand, you know Barnes and Nobles, Taylors and Swifts, and so many other ones like that. Now there is this other one that we call Smashwords. I know that recently Smashwords also, I think they matched with another company. But if you go online and you search Smashwords, but there's a comma when it comes to Smashwords. Recently, wasn't all early last year, we got an email that they don't want their platform to be accessible to Nigerians again, and they just shut out Nigerians. What I did was, for my books that were on Smash, was before they stopped allowing Nigerians, I left them there. But at the same time, they actually stopped selling some Nigerian books, like books that were placed there by Nigerians. I don't know why. Probably because of the fraudulent nature of some Nigerians. As a country, we really need to do better. So I know that some of you leave the country at some point, so you can probably add Smashwords to the options you have. Now, Smashwords also operate like cover books sometimes, because the very first time I used Smashwords, that was, I think, 2018 precisely. They published my book on cover books for me, and some other platforms for me. So sometimes they operate like Cover Books, and they provide global distribution of books. That's Smashwords too. Yeah, yeah. But if you're a Nigerian, I cannot promise you that you have full access to their platform. Okay, I think this is a good place to stop, if I'm correct. But you should not be discouraged. Yes, I have listed the options you have. I have listed the options, and I believe that because you have heard the pros and cons for all the options, you can, you know, you can decide where you want your books to be. And for to be on the safer side, it is better for you to just make sure that you publish your book on the local platforms and the international platforms. And I really, really pray, and I am hopeful that authors will not be encouraged, will not be discouraged from publishing their books out there, because you have so much on your inside, and you'll be surprised that so many people are waiting to read from you. So don't stop. And before you get your book in print, don't stop. Publish your book out there and make sure that people read them. Now, and also, in fact, if there's any reason why I would prefer that you stick to digital platforms instead of giving your book to people, instead of giving them the MS Word format or PDF format. In fact, I would even prefer you put your book on a platform where they are paying you five naira per month than you giving it out, you selling your book out to people in MS Word format or PDF format, because it is risky. Well, except if the purpose of publishing that book is to reach out to people, and you don't mind sharing, there is love in sharing. You don't mind that. If you don't mind that, no problem. You can go ahead and sell your book in MS Word format, PDF format, if you want it. But if you can avoid it, please avoid it so that you can earn from your work. Thank you so much for listening. I hope there is there any question. You're welcome for code publishing. Okay, is there any question that you would like me to answer before I,
Thank
you
you
know?
so much. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Although the network was pulling me out all this well, but I know the session was very insightful. So please, if you have questions for our lawyer, please can you drop them in the comment section so we can ask. Okay, we have a question. How can I
Okay.
ensure my book reaches its target audience and gains visibility online?
Okay. Now, this particular question, I want, even before I answer this question, I want you to know something, that you have a responsibility. I have a responsibility to my books, and you have a responsibility to your book. So the 95% of the work will be dependent on you, go, 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 go. Not on the platforms where you are putting your books. No, 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 no. Except you are a person like Chimamanda Adichie or Michelle Michelle Obama, or you are someone so popular, you've gained the fame, you are very popular, you have a good and ready audience, feel that, even if you decide to write in Arabic today, or you decide to just publish a book with your name from A to Z, and you are sure that people will buy, if you are not someone like that, just know that the 95% of the work is dependent on you. So how can you ensure that your book reaches its target audience and gains visibility? Well, before you okay, I actually wrote a book in this direction. Before you push your book out there, before you push your book out there, you have to sit down and plan. Who are those people that I want this book to get to? And how do I intend to get my book across to them? Where are they? What do they like? What do they want? How can I reach them? Now, those are the questions you have to ask yourself, then plan. Even if it means that you have to get a book consultant and a book project consultant and say, okay, please, can you help me with ideas? I get across to my audience and all that. See, the bulk of the work is on you, and you have to see. In fact, there is this saying that if you fail to plan, you are planned to fail. So if your book is going to do well, if your book is going to gain visibility, You cannot just place those books on online platforms without talking about them. So how often do you intend to talk about your book? You have a book coming up. How often do you intend to talk about it? Where do you intend to talk about the books? Who do you intend to talk to? Like, who do you intend to tell about the book? Now, do you have the book in printed format? Okay, fine. If you don't have the book in printed format, what else do you think you can do to push the book? Now, most of the time, people don't just buy your book, they buy you. They buy your brand, they buy who you have become before they buy your book. If you don't have a track record that they can trust, they are not likely to give. Even if you say your book is 5 naira, they are not likely to buy. Even if you say your book is free, some of them will get this book and not even touch it. So the bulk of the work is dependent on you. You have to show yourself as someone that people should listen to. They have to know that you have something to offer. Now, even if you have not started working on that, you can start from today, like from tonight. What do you want people to, what do you want people to, how do you want people to perceive you? What do you want them to think you are? For instance, last year I wrote a book on essentially good tasks for business owners. I was like, if there is something I know and I know that people will read from me, okay, if I write anything about online publishing, or write about poems, or write on poems, I write poetry. If I write anything about law, online publishing, I know that people will read, because those are the things that over the years they know that I do, and they know that I have a good knowledge about these things. Now, they know that I share things along this line, so it should not be hard for you when people know who you are. When people, there is this KLT factor. When they know you, when they like you, and when they trust you, they just trust you. They just know that no, this person has something to offer. So it depends on you. The bulk of the work is on you. So start pushing yourself out there. Start sharing the knowledge. There was a particular guy I met, and the guy said, "Oh, I write poems." The guy got to know that I write poems, and he was like, "Oh, I write poems." So I was like, "Wow, that's beautiful. Do you have your poems online? Where can I read them?" And what he said was, "I am keeping the poems. I am writing them in one book. I don't want anybody to have access to them because I want to publish them." So I said, "Huh? How now? How do you want to do that? How do you intend to do that? You are hiding this. People don't even have a glimpse of what you have to offer, and you expect them to buy when it is ready. That is not going to work. So you must be someone that you share what you know online to a good extent. I'm not saying that you should share everything, but at least to a good extent, such that you should give them a glimpse so that they would want to know more. And when it comes to gaining visibility, beyond posting online, you have to be strategic. Run ads if you can. Get people to know you organically. Organize classes if you can. I can remember that so many people got to know me when I started organizing some classes for people and all that. So there are so many things you can do, but it starts with you. You cannot just place your book on platform A and expect. And of course, just like our facilitate our host has said the other time, she talked about book design, book formatting, and all that. All those things too, they also matter. If someone starts reading your book and it is not well arranged, they are not likely to keep reading. They will be tired. They'll be tired. And if you've chosen a font that is going to stress their eyeballs, they're not likely to keep reading. So if you want your book to reach your target audience, you have to think about all these things. You have to think about how much you are going to charge. You want to sell a book to undergrads that they don't even have money to eat. They don't even have money to eat. They are okay, thank you. You said I've answered the question. All right. So they don't even have money to eat, and you are calling the money, you are calling the book to 20,000 naira, and it is even ebook 20,000 naira. You have to be realistic. You have to be realistic. You have to, yes, I know that some people can actually say, "Oh, I will go for knowledge and know and starve myself." But how many people can do that? You have to be realistic, know your audience, and reach them the way they really want to be reached. So that's it. I hope this has answered your question. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Any other question? All right. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you for engaging. So, any other
Okay,
question?
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks for
All right.
answering our questions. Okay, we have another question. How can I ensure my book reaches the target audience and gains
I
visibility
think it is
online?
still the same question. I think it is still the same question. I think it is still the same question. Am I correct?
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you for that insightful session. You
Yeah.
really added
You're
to our
welcome.
book. So we'll be
The
moving
pleasure is
towards
mine.
now. Thank you, thank you. So I'll be inviting the host, Miss Oluwabori, for her closing remark. Miss Oluwabori, please take the stage.
All right, thank you so very much, Ms. Bolanle. So good to have you here. Like in the short period of time you are with us here, like you shared valid points, like insightful ones at that. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that our
Honestly.
listeners have gained one or two things from what you have said. In fact, it's not even one or two things, like a lot really, because that Amazon KDP stuff, oh my God, I know how authors like it's like I don't know, it's like the whole world to them. They feel that once they just upload like that, they just start collecting money. And one of the questions that I usually ask them is this: you want people to buy your book and pay you in dollars. But then within the last 3 months, how many books have you bought on Amazon yourself? So I will not them to answer that question. So you think it's only your book that everybody will be buying online? So thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so
Yeah.
very much for sharing. It's been an enlightening session listening to you. So thank you so much. So guys, that's all we have for you tonight. And today being the last day of the Public Vision Virtual Conference, you've heard all of our wonderful speakers share with us tonight. Amazing stuff. Like these are things that if you have to hear these things or know these things, you have to pay for it in a master class. But this thing is coming like you're getting all of this for free. And so I want you to please share the link with your friends that needs to listen to this. We have about 7 sessions since yesterday. We had 4 yesterday and then 3 today. So that's 7 sessions of hot value for you to learn from. So if you have anybody that is writing their book right now, they are currently working on their book projects, ensure that you share the link with them. The replays will be up, though it's going to be for a limited period of time. So ensure you watch the replays again, take notes, and also we would ensure that we put the contact details of the speakers as well in the description box so that you can get to connect with them one on one and enjoy their service. Of course, if you tell them that you took part in this particular event, it's possible that so far you're able to answer one or two questions as to what did you learn from their session. All right, so thank you everyone for joining. I can see Joy Salami here. Thank you so much for joining, for tuning in tonight. Thank you to our wonderful moderator Chidima for your time and for joining us here tonight as well. And just like I've mentioned, all of our guest speakers, Miss Bonali also has, she's an author. That's something that I need to say. In fact, it came to my mind now, and then I was like, I need to say this. All of our speakers, they've all published a book. So it's not even one book. Just to tell you that they are authority in this field. So we do not just bring any other kind of people. These are professionals, experts in their fields, and they have things like results to show as proof of what they do. They are published authors as well. So they're not just talking and you now say, oh, it's because I've not written a book. That's why you can't understand. This one's understand because they are published authors as well. So they Miss Bonali has books. She has books in different areas. She's a lawyer, she's a barrister. So she has books when it comes to legal issues, especially with your business. She has written books as well, so fiction books as well. She's written quite a number of them. So you can do well uh, to check her on Sila, yeah, our Sila store. You can do well to check that. So I'm going to paste that on the so that's that. So just check our Sila store. All of our books are there. You can get them. And also she has a course too. Yes, I'm sure you should be on Sila. She has a course on book publishing as well too. So you can do well to link up with her, send her a message so that you can get courses and also connect with her. She's on Facebook and connect with her on Facebook, on Instagram. You can connect with her right there, and yes, you'll be able to discuss with her further concerning your book project. All right, so thank you everyone for joining in again tonight, and do not forget to subscribe to this our channel so that you can get more edifying content, more educative content on book publishing. This is only what this channel is all about. We are here to give you to update you on trends, yeah, new trends in the book publishing space. So do all to subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and also share the link to this particular live stream with your friends and families and loved ones, people that are currently working on their book projects or people that are aspiring to um, become to become a book editor, a book service provider, book cover designer, an Amazon KDP publisher, just name it. You also get to learn more about that. So it's been wonderful. It's been a wonderful time here learning from our wonderful speakers. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you also too for being a part of this of the success of this year's virtual conference. Publish Nation Virtual Conference 3.0 is there. It's here already. We thank God for the success of it, and thank you for being a part of it as well. And should you have further inquiries as well, too, you can also check the contact details in the description box, and we'll be glad to receive your inquiries as well. Thank you, everyone. And on behalf of myself and my team, I want to say a big thank you to all our speakers as well too. They've been awesome sharing their time, and they shared with us without holding back. And for this and many more, I want to say a big thank you. So till we come your way again, same month next year, God's willing, the Publish Nation Virtual Conference will be back again in year 2025, and that will be edition 4.0. And do well also to be a part of it. We look forward to having you there. Thank you so much, everyone. All right, so this is where we draw the curtain for this year's edition. Thank you so very much, and God bless you.